Hi, I'm Don.
And hi, I'm Cindy. Welcome to Pearls of Liberty, June 1st, 2013. We made it into June.
Yay, I guess.
People keep saying that things are going to change very soon, dramatically for the better. And Alex Jones is usually pretty conservative about that. But this guest was very enthusiastic about a dramatic change in the near future.
Well, I'm not sure if dramatic is the right word. I think all of these changes are relatively hidden, but they're very, very significant. It all has to do with the financial system. And Karen Hudes emphasized how, even though she hadn't been able to get through to the press in America with her whistleblowing on the Bank of International Settlements and the, the Federal Reserve and the IMF, I think it's actually IMF that she's most closely affiliated with. Anyway, she's a whistleblower in very high-level banking institutions. She's also a lawyer, and she was describing how there is a team of, quote, good guys, although I don't think she used that term, around the world who are coordinating an end to the financial shenanigans that have been going on at the very highest levels and are using the rules from Basel III to make the banks accountable and to end fiat banking, where banks can do basically whatever they want without having to have any collateral behind it. And she's describing how they're actually boxing these bankster controllers into a corner, and that we are winning and have won even already, she said. And this has to do with the geniuses, the way that the founders set up the federal government to be in competition for power with the states. So even though she wasn't able to get through to the press, she got through to the governors and the Secretary of States in enough of the states that were and exposed what the federal government was doing with its finances, and they don't want to go under, so they're going to oppose them, or already have. And so this is great news. Things happening behind the scenes. I don't know how dramatic it's going to be, this shift, but it's very significant, and it is in process, and she considered it done in terms of the winning thing happening. And she also said that we would begin to see changes in the press, and I think we're already seeing that with the press coming out for with some of those Obama scandals, and it's kind of surprising to see this shift, but it is happening. The one thing that we need to keep in mind is that Americans are very dumbed down, so this educational process is going to take some time. That's why I say I don't think it's going to be that dramatic, because there's so much education that needs to happen.
She was part of the World Bank. Karen Hudes worked for 20 years in the World Bank's legal department. And this is from Alex's daytime show on Tuesday. She also was on the nightly news that night, and she was on Coast to Coast for an interview not that long ago. So if you go to YouTube, we'll post the link to this with the timestamp where her interview begins. But if you go to YouTube, you can find a lot on her, and it's all very good, interesting stuff. And another, perhaps, something that will help with education, the People's Voice. David Icke is beginning a TV and radio station.
That's awesome.
So they are asking for donations, but it seems like this could be very promising. David Icke really knows how to make things happen.
Well, and of course, David Icke had a career in sports broadcasting after he was a sports star and then got into sports broadcasting. So he's seen how the high-level media works in the past. It's been a while since he did that, but he knows the game, so he is going to enter into this at a very high professional level, and that's great news. I'm really excited about that.
And of course, he is planning to go to the Bilderberg meeting this week, as is Alex Jones. and quite a few other people.
Were they
So
invited? Did the Bilderbergers invite them?
no, in fact, if you've looked at any Liberty News today, you will be aware that they had a hotel reservation for the week leading up to the Bilderberg meeting in the hotel where the Bilderbergs are going to meet, and their reservation has been canceled.
Oh.
So they're going to have to walk around outside with bullhorns or something like they usually do, I guess.
I saw people talking about setting up tents, and I saw a post from Paul Joseph Watson, and one of the people responding to the post say, "Hey, Paul, set up a tent over by us." So I think that's what's happening. They're taking the risk that somebody's going to ask them to pack up their tents, but hey, we got to start and take back the world, and camping might be a first step.
Just, maybe they could live in caves like cavemen, and we can all regress and then, very quickly come back up to speed.
Beat war drums very, very seriously and yell lots of very warlike things.
There you go. And this is some interesting news. Millions against Monsanto. Look what we did. It appears Monsanto stock has been dropping steadily since we shared the truth with the world. And it's trending. So, looks like a chart up on Monsanto here.
Yeah, this looks like it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on this one day, May 31st, Monday, the day of the boycott. It looks like just coincidentally the stock dropped. Well, maybe the protest did something, or maybe it was coincidence, but that's quite a drop for one day. So that's something that is a favorable sign, I think.
Sure, absolutely. And a thought that Don wanted to address from Thomas Jefferson: if a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be.
There is a lot of interest in a return to the Republic, and a lot of very hopeful signs have come, and more are on the way, but we're not going to be free until the people get educated again, and we're a long ways from that. So steps like David Icke forming a broadcasting company, that's a first step, and of course he's on the other side of the pond, but we're in many ways a global civilization now, and this is not really about America per se. It's about free humanity. So the principles that the founders, like Thomas Jefferson, espoused are, and their philosophy of government and life is really what we need to absorb and to get that back into the mainstream. So there are good people doing good things. They're just relatively hidden and relatively few, and that needs to become much more mainstream. We need to retake the whole idea of liberty and the strength of the individual, and that's what America is supposed to be all about. And it's been so watered down that most people can't recognize basic American values anymore. So every step we take in that direction is very important.
Great. And of course the steps are to first learn and then share what we have learned with other people. And we are definitely trying to do that through this video, and we thank you for joining us for this video. And we hope that you have a great week coming up. And for the people in Oklahoma, we're praying for you. And we say to the winds and the storms in the Midwest, peace be still in Jesus' name.
Yes, and as always, as every week, I remind you to see the world the way that it really is, to see yourself in it. Walk your walk. You are the one you've been waiting for.